I think I got a girl crush. I think I got a girl crush.
What's up, everybody? We're live. It's the
Let's
first
go.
episode. The first episode of Law of Attraction, our talk live polarity talk series for the new Boys Noise LP Polarity, out now, available in all of your favorite stores and online listening experience marketplaces. I'm here with Boys Noise and Rico Nasty.
What's up, Rico? What's up, little internet? Hi, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Welcome to the first episode. Really happy to see you guys.
Yeah, this is lit.
Yes,
Feels
So
good.
absolutely.
cool.
Let's see. I mean, I saw Rico last when we were shooting the video for Girl Crush, which was quite some time ago, and now the album is out. Rico, you have a new album that came out recently too.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out like last year. Not so much recently, but me and Boys Noize have some crazy shit coming very soon, like right around the corner. It's gonna be hard.
Yes.
So you want to talk about it already? You want to give them some
Yeah,
early
let's
alpha
talk
on it?
about it. Bro, so
Let's
me and Boys
go.
Noize, we where did we meet? Did we meet in the studio first or did we meet on the cruise?
We met on a boat first, which is kind of
Yeah,
crazy. And
we
I
did.
don't know if you know the whole story, but the guy, so it was on Friendship, and the guy that organizes the rave cruise has become a friend of mine. And so before the event I was like, yo, you have to get Rico Nasty on the boat, because I just saw the only, I think you just put out Smack a Bitch, and I was like blown away by it. And at the same time, it might have been the same day or something, that I met with Gary Riches, who's the organizer of that cruise. And I was like, man, you gotta get Rico. And then you came, and it was a boat full of DJs and
It was lit
ravers.
though. It was probably like the most fun experience I've ever had. I've never been on a boat, a cruise, anything like that. So that was definitely like such an amazing experience. And I remember we talked about music for so long and we talked about Two Live Crew and you introduced me into like, I think Peaches was somebody that you had put me on
Oh,
to.
wow.
Like we were just going back and forth, like, oh, you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? And then I think when we met in the studio, that's when we made a lot of our music. Like we just went in, like there was never a dry night. We always made like 7 songs in one night. Like it was
So
crazy.
true. Yeah,
You were
we
making music
banged
on the
out.
boat.
Not on the boat, but as soon as we got on land, it was over. It was
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah, like a couple of days after we got back on mainland, we met in the studio, and I had Girl Crush already in mind as a
Yeah.
track for myself and you. And I reached out to Kenny, because Kenny produced Smack a Bitch, and Kenny and I have been friends. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, do you think Ricky will fuck with it? And he's like, hell yeah, this shit's fire. Like, and I was so happy, because like, it's so hard to not convince, but like to get someone like you on like the shit I do. It's been
Yeah.
impossible. I haven't met a single person in the past 10 years or whatever, however long I make music, that was down with this stuff. And then we met, and we got in the studio, and anything I was playing you,
It
you
was
were going
amazing. Like
off. It was
I have felt like I hit a gold mine. I'm like, how I can't even believe that people would. I mean, like, it's just everything about you is so like timeless. Like it feels like something nostalgic yet futuristic. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know how you make shit that sound like something that I heard before, but not like the instruments you decide to pull out and make the main like it's crazy. This new project is crazy too. I listened to it. It's sick. Like everything you do is fucking sick. And moving forward, you know, we're gonna keep it coming like nonstop. I consider you one of my favorites for sure.
Likewise, man. Likewise. It's crazy. I'm sure, Julian, you probably have some questions for us too.
Well, no, I mean that's all good. This is what people want to hear. I mean, I'm interested. I think, you know, it makes sense both of you came together because both of you kind of look at and listen to music, it appears to me, as just kind of like an open palette. It's like you don't really think too much about, oh, this is that kind of music, or I don't really like fuck with or make this other kind of music, which is weird because you'd always think it's like a painter who is like, oh yeah, like I really like yellow and green, but no, purple, no, that's not my thing. I don't really use purple in my paintings. It doesn't make sense. It's like, but both of you kind of like Rico, your recent album was like really diverse. Like you're very down to experiment, and Alex, of course, like this polarity is also like you really show a huge range of diversity there. And I wonder, Rico, if when you heard the Girl Crush like track first, if like the concept for the song and the lyrics, did you kind of like envision something when you heard the beat? Is that where the concept came from? Like when I listen to music, I always imagine like almost like movies in my head. And I wonder if you heard the track and this world started getting built out, and what that was like.
It was definitely in a realm where this is such a good way to explain it. So I was on the road a lot, and I was meeting a lot of girls that were like so pretty and so nice, and they just always wanted to be around me. So there was a moment where I was like, I think I like girls. Like I really do think that it's not like a girl crush, but if I could put it in a movie scene exactly, like if I could play this at a club, if I could imagine two girls looking at each other from across the room, what would the song be playing in the background of a rave? And then boom, we have girl crush. I mean, when the moans came in the song, that's like, you know, during the beginning when it's first coming in, it's just, it feels like one of those things where it's like, look, but don't touch. And I feel like, you know, growing up in my family, that's definitely been like what a girl crush is. It's like, you know, don't say it out loud. You can think it, but don't say it out loud. So that song is just really good. I feel like finally being able to just admit it. It's sick.
Alex, I didn't know you put you had the moans in from the beginning. Does Rico's movie, listening to the track, does that connect with what was in your head when you were making it?
You know, it's funny because that was her initial feeling and it matched exactly the vibe I was hoping for. It's so crazy. And then you also, you kind of sing over it, which you haven't, like I did not hear you, like I know like on some older stuff, which I didn't know at that point you did, but that was really surprising too. And then, yeah, you just completely nailed it. And to me, that song and that collaboration is truly like a musical fantasy, because again, like you don't see that happening in music usually. As you say, like, you know, it's way more safe to go like, you know, this is my shit, I'm just doing that, or this is that.
And like,
and
this is my mood. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you know, like it's, you know, me coming from like, let's say the house and techno world, like, you know, some techno people can be quite strict, you know, like from like comments I hear throughout my career already, you know, and I like to like fuck with all of them and like, you know, kind of like that's what motivates me, is like, you know, how can I like what can I contribute, like what's my part here, how can we like make something, maybe try to make something that hasn't been really done before. And it was just perfect. It just came together in the best possible way, and we were laughing and we were like dancing, and
yeah, you know, I remember that too, like when it came, like even shooting the video, like everything was just so fun. We picked out clothes. We picked out clothes together. Oh yeah, we had so much fun. Like that was such a good time. Like, and a lot of times too, like, you know, most things, that's the beauty of you and Kenny. Most things that we've created were made in person. We don't really send stuff back and forth or send beat packs. Like we might send beat packs to get a vibe of like, oh, this is what you probably was working on when we get to the studio. But I'm telling you, there's nothing like when we're in there creating. Like I mentioned Peaches before because I just remember she was like the first person who I heard that was like raw and sexy. And I remember listening to her a lot. And then when you played that beat, I was like, oh my God, like this is such a good way to give that mysterious, edgy, punk. Like it's still everything, just like it's just like, yeah.
But you're yourself too, and that's the cool thing. You did, you know, like it's what I said was like, you know, that was your initial kind of feeling with it, and that's usually the best moments you can have in the studio, right? Is like when you get that initial feeling and you put down that initial idea, that usually comes the most, that shows the most truth of your creative kind of like reaction. And Peaches, by the way, Peaches is my hero too, man. I mean, yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. You taken Peaches as a reference. That's so crazy. She's such a cool person. Yeah, I adore her as well.
Yeah, definitely one of the best. Like when you put me onto her and I win, I'm listening back and I'm like, so many people have taken notes from this woman. Like, all right, she goes off.
We gotta make a Peaches Rico Nasty collaboration happen. Oh my God.
She'd love to hear that. And then you come back to Berlin too. Rico, you gotta get back now that we're open up again.
Yeah, I miss Berlin. It was one of my favorite places ever when I was traveling.
What did you do here?
Rave, thrift.
Was there a real life girl crush moment in Berlin?
Plenty. Oh my God, the girls there are so pretty. They're so, bro, and they're so like. One thing I will say about Berlin is like, there's a lot of feminine, like female unity and female power, like empowerment. Like a lot of girls are like in groups and they stay together and they dress cool as fuck together. And like, you know, here, obviously, like we're cool too. Like we do the same shit. But when I was traveling to like other places in the world, when I was traveling to like London or like even when I later on visited Australia or China, the fashion, the steampunk, that everything from that comes from Berlin. Like the huge platform booths. Like we were in thrift stores and I was seeing like some of the craziest shit that's just like, this is where this came from. This is the rave capital of the world. And I remember one of my favorite things that I did while I was there, they're very, very free sexually. So they had like a 3-story sex shop. Like they have like an arcade in there. Like you could put dollars in it and watch porn. Like, bro, I had never seen nothing like that, bro. That was the crazy.
You went to LSD? Is that the store?
How'd you know?
Was it LSD?
I was gonna say LSD.
Yes, the 3-level one. The first level is like literally an arcade, but it's like not really an arcade. It's just like little booths. You can watch stuff there, and then they have like cool clothes and just like craziest DVDs. I was just like, this is like, I wish everyone was as real about it as you guys are. Like, it's fucking sex. You know, out here it's like you might find like a hustler shop or like a strip. They label it as a stripper store, not like full on like just everything you can imagine. Like there's no room for imagination. Honestly, it's just everything, a whole plethora. I was in there for like hours.
I'm gonna have to go to LSD now. I've actually never been there. I've seen it every time. I mean, you can't obviously when there's a three-story high store called LSD with
It's like,
like
I don't know.
you're gonna be like, huh, I'll remember that. But I've never been in now.
Well,
Now
Yeah,
you
go in
want
there
to.
and check it out. They have some sick shit in there. Good inspiration. Good inspiration for nasty music.
Alex, have you been there?
I haven't, but I'm born in Hamburg, and Hamburg has the biggest red light district in Europe. So a whole district is full of, sex shops and clubs and working places and environments and shit. So when I was a kid, I was exposed to it pretty early in my age, and to me, it's kind of crazy to see it from your perspective. Like kind of coming to Europe as a grown up, like,
Yeah.
and then seeing all that shit. For me, like, it was crazy too when I saw that shit, but I wish I actually had those moments where I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's.
It was definitely like mind blown because I mean, growing up here, like sex is so like in the closet almost. Like you hear about it in music, but like in like everyday life, there isn't really much of it. Like, so when I'm going out there and it's the club, there's like sex clubs and just raves. And when people are at the raves, like it's boobs out and there's not necessarily people like looking at them like they're crazy or anything. It's so free. It's so like, that's what we came here for. There's no rules. There's no, like, there is no judging. And I think that's another reason why I feel so free on your music, because I feel that in your club stuff. Like, I feel that urge to just, it's judgment free zone, bro. You say whatever. You can rap fast and harmonize. Like, there's no limits. And I really embraced a lot of that when I visited.
That's the message. That's for sure.
Rico, when you were first starting out, I mean, you grew up in Baltimore, right?
I went to boarding school in Baltimore.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask if, like, if you always kind of kept a really open mind to music, if when you were younger, if like you were experimenting already with different genres and different sounds, or if that's something that you kind of just remained open to, and as you traveled and started playing and touring around, kind of like picked up all of these different things. So I guess the question is, from the beginning, were you really always trying to kind of cast a wide net and be open and experiment with everything, or
Yeah,
is
I
that
mean,
something that kind of happened later?
I was definitely raised in a household where it went from like Amy Winehouse, Duffy, Nas, Floetry, Erykah Badu, to like Redman, Method Man. Like my parents were like polar opposites as far as music. So growing up, there was always the alternative side and the rap side. And then my mom is Spanish, so there was always like when we would go to parties and family parties, they would play club music, they would play reggaeton, they would play Daddy Yankee. That would transfer over into like when I would go on YouTube and look up the suggested, like I would just find all types of dance music. I think it's weird how I discovered like Bob Marley was somebody my parents always listened to when I was growing up. So when I got to, I think I was in probably the 7th grade. That's when I went on my own Bob Marley binge. And in that's when I found out about alternative rock, which was by far not what Bob Marley is, but I found out about Death Cab for Cutie. I was always like that person that wanted to know like the up and coming, like, oh yeah, I know this person. I bet you don't know them. Like very competitive about my music, very much like a gatekeeper as well. Like people would, oh, what song is that? I wouldn't tell them. Fuck you.
That's so funny you say that. I had exactly the same. That's why I fell in love with house and techno, because no one would listen to that music. And I felt like I found music that I'm the only person that listens to it, and
It
no
made me
one
feel
knows
cool.
about it
It
because
got
it's
me.
not. Yeah, same way. That's crazy.
Alex, would you cover the titles of your records with tape when you were playing out so no one could train spot them?
I didn't go that hard. I saw people. No, but you know what? I was working in a house and techno record store, and I remember when the promos, you get the releases before they come out as promo. And back in the day, it took a little longer before the release come out. And so when I was DJing, I would only play the unreleased promo. But when it was out, I stopped playing it because that's when everybody was starting playing it. That's
Did you ever
only,
like throw away all the copies of the album once it was released so you could just keep the promo and no one else in Hamburg would have it?
No.
That's a good hustle.
That's crazy. That would be so funny.
That would have been,
what?
yeah.
They'd be calling you, where are the records? Wow.
I mean, Alex, when you were, coming from a house and techno background, what was the transition to making tracks that, Rico Nasty could jump on and getting into this like way wider frame of collaboration? I guess, you had a track with Snoop Dogg a while back, so I guess you've always been playing around with it. But, recently, it seems like you kind of committed to just like casting a net really wide and working with all different kinds of artists. Is that a reflection of like a process that's kind of personal for you, or and both of y'all feel like in general, these sort of separations between genres and scenes are kind of breaking down?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because it's, for me, when I look back, at my first release on BNR, it was basically my version of Neptunes, but in electro. I was listening to all the Neptunes productions at that time and I was obsessed with it. But, what am I doing a sort of beat like that? And, I was in house and techno, but basically that first release was sort of my version of it. So I was always inspired by, rap and hip hop. And, after a few years of making, more straight up club bangers, I guess it's just, finding new inspiration and getting triggered and being motivated. Like I don't like to repeat, like making the same tracks over and over. So it's just it comes over time where you just, I guess, evolve into different things and try out different things. And again, like in electronic music, basically everything has been done. Like, there's techno, there's house, now it's just like some sort of like revision of, the 90s kind of era of techno and the 90s kind of era of house, and it's get reproduced but with better, they sound better now, the tracks, but the basic music idea is still the same. So, something like Girl Crush to me is just fresh. When I hear this stuff, I'm like, I don't hear, when I buy records, I love everything I play from the other people, but why would I do the same? So I do take the inspiration, but for me to be inspired, I just have to inspire myself. And so things like Girl Crush happen then.
It's also interesting in dance music, especially, like someone will like figure out a new sound or something, and instead of that new sound just existing in this one track, it'll become a whole genre. It's basically like donk, like every 5 years or something, and then you just like someone makes a track and then there's a whole genre that basically sounds like that track, and there's hundreds of tracks that sound like that one track. So I can kind of imagine the motivation or it being a lot more interesting to always try to make a track that could be its own new genre instead of just like jumping on the next donk train.
That's why I was so impressed when I heard Smack a Bitch, and I know you've heard it so many times, Rico, but it is really true. When I heard that track, that was the first track I heard of you, and I thought, damn, there's someone out there doing something else, and so to me, I was like, man, this shit's beastie as fuck. No one's doing that stuff. And so that really gave me that feeling that I only have like every other year, maybe, where I hear something, I'm like, holy shit, this shit's fresh. It's a really rare moment when that happens.
I really appreciate that. That was really like such a huge moment for me too. Like working with someone like, and they didn't just work with me, but they put me in a position to be heard by other people. Like I'll always be thankful for Kenny for that, because like you said, do you think she'll get on it? I will never forget the night he sent me your stuff. I was like, bro, this is some like, and it was weird because the first thing I said, I was like, this is some Kanye West. This is some fucking crazy. Then you worked with Virgil. And I was like, bro, he's not gonna work. He's not gonna want to work with me. Your project with Virgil had just dropped. Like, he's not gonna want to work with me. What the fuck? And our music was really crazy. And I felt the same with you. Like, especially in the hip hop realm, the amount of beats that I get that sound like either radio or too trappy and don't give me enough room to be creative. It's exhausting. And sometimes I go through beats, so many beats that I just, it's been 2 hours in the studio and I haven't heard nothing that I like. And it really will take somebody being there, feeding off of their experiences, their energy, and learning new stuff in order to really create something. But I completely agree. It is very, very, like, everything you create is different. All of your projects are different. There's never two songs that I could say, oh, these sound alike or probably made the same day. Even the stuff we make, it's so hard to remember when we made it because, like, it's just like so fast almost. Like, it was the blur of great ideas. Great ideas.
Yeah, the next shit's crazy.
Yeah, you want to tell us, give us a little hint about what the next shit is?
So the next song is called Money. I'll give you that. And it's featuring another female artist that the way he was just describing me, how he's like, oh my God, I only hear something like this once or twice a year. I'm like, this is fucking fresh. This is new. That's how I feel about this female rapper. Like, there's a lot of new female rappers coming up and her name is Flo Millie. And I just feel like I love the way she animates her voice on a beat and just like claims that shit. Like, it's very hard when people do songs with me for them to sound as dominant as me. You know, a lot of people, they get on a song with me and I'm the dominant one and they kind of mellow it out for me, or I'm going crazy and they're like, oh. So she's very much someone who's matching my energy and making me feel like the future of female rap is so witty. She's so witty with her bars. Like, I really, really love her. And the song, actually, we made this song 2 years ago. Me and Boys Noize made this song 2 years ago. Back
and
on
we knew it was a banger. That's so crazy.
We knew it was a banger.
We made it, and it was another of these moments where we were like, oh shit, this shit's gonna go hard. And we were sending it to the label and there was just no reaction, nothing.
And we sat on it and we were like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. They're gonna, like, we are, like I keep saying, we are so far ahead. It took literally 2 years for them to catch up, because now they're like, are there any songs, like any old songs that you want to go back on? And I'm like, this one, first one that I brought up. And they're like, where has this been? And I'm like, really? Where has it been? I mean, but it's also because I make so much music that a lot of it gets trapped. But I remember that being like, guys, you probably don't hear it now, but when this Miami era comes back, like at this time the City Girls were just coming out, I was like, okay, when this is like the vibe for, you know, the masses, they're gonna love this. This is the sample is just so like, but working with you once you play the original, like, it doesn't even sound like, it sounds crazy. Like,
it's inspired by a big Miami bass record. But the thing is, like, as you say, like, it takes someone, you know, that comes out of nowhere where someone's like, oh, this is fresh. And then like the major label, you know, you're on a big label, so they it's hard for them to take risks sometimes. You know, with you, it's easier because your personality is just like that. You know, you are a risk taker. So, you know, now that gave us the entry, and yeah, I'm stoked. It's fresh. It's fresh.
Yeah.
And it's getting mixed now. So we just finished it.
Wow, it's very good. And it comes with a video too.
Oh
We
shit.
just shot the
Oh.
video like 2 days ago.
What you did?
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
What? Let me
Okay.
send you pictures. I'm gonna send you pictures. We had sugar daddies in it.
Hey, by the way, YouTube, if you like this shit, hit the like and subscribe, man. Don't forget that. Like, everybody, like.
Yeah, I
No,
was just
that
gonna
shit's
say.
crazy. That shit's crazy. So yeah, get ready for another Rico Boys Noise Jam.
Yeah.
Flo Millie. Yeah, that's gonna be
Yeah.
fun in the club too.
It's gonna be crazy in the club. I can't
You
wait.
played it in Berlin. So we made it 2 years ago, and then when you came to Berlin, you played it, and
it
I
went
remember
up. Oh my gosh.
everybody was singing along immediately. It was insane. It was insane. You know, and those are the moments when you play something and that's what I love about DJing is, you know, when I'm making a new track, I can play it out and you get that completely, you know, objective reaction, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the neutral kind of like people don't know what it is. And if you see already the positive reaction, then you know
Yeah,
you got something,
because I was nervous
special.
at first. I was like, are they even gonna know? But it's like as soon as I'm doing the call and repeat, they're like, I don't even want to say the lyrics, but they get it. That's just gonna be crazy. I can't wait for the festivals, the strip clubs too. Strip clubs.
If you're looking forward for the new Rico Nasty and Boys Noise track, make sure to hit like and subscribe below. Thank you. And I had to get that in for you, Alex. I'm sorry I haven't been saying it earlier. I wanted to ask both of y'all, just because, I mean, it is a Miami bass track. Abra, Affection with Abra on the Polarity album. That's like an Atlanta bass track. It sounds like a old, like, So Def bass all-stars track. I mean, I have a feeling, I'm wondering if because of the pandemic, everything being shut down for so long, if, like, people have all this pent-up energy and they just want faster music. Like, I see a lot of, like, you know, like, young Gen Z, like, TikTokers and stuff all into drum and bass now, you know? Like, I feel like drum and bass is having a moment. So maybe, like, you know, on the electronic side, everyone's, like, listening to drum and bass now, kicking up to, like, 180 BPM. Maybe
Yeah. I mean,
on the rap side, too, we're going to get the tempo up. I'm taking opinions.
No, I definitely feel that for sure. Because then we have like Dylan Brady and hyperpop and all that shit, and I really think that that's also translating into hip hop a lot. Like we have a lot of young rappers. What's his name? Young Chris. They're speeding up their raps on trap beats. Sound like hyperpop. Sounds fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that shit. Techno is super fast now too. I mean, the tempo got sped up, like it's now at like 140, 133 till 150 basically. It's getting really fast and very ravey and very hard as well. I love it.
I feel like people want to feel something. I think your theory is right. I think being in quarantine, I mean, I will say being in quarantine, I bought so many new speakers because they're just not loud enough. You turn that shit all the way. It doesn't fucking matter. It needs to be louder. I want my eardrums to fucking bleed. I want to feel it in my throat when it's playing. I want to feel like I'm drowning in the music. And I think that people are looking for actual music that has instruments that do that, and not necessarily like they're not turning it all the way up anymore. They're just listening to crazy shit.
I love that too. I think everybody should get a fucking good sound system at home, because you know, like if you have like a small speaker like micro like that, like it's so hard to feel the whole spectrum of the music you listen to. It's like 5% of emotion that gets carried through it. Like sound is so much, and when you have a, you know, if you have a good system or like decent speakers at home, that shit's fun, man. Like as you say, like you can really feel it. You can turn it up and you feel the bass and you feel everything. It's an amazing feeling to have good speakers.
There was a point in quarantine where I would like put a blanket over the speaker and like sit next to it by my head so I could feel like I was at a show. That's depression.
Wow.
I was really sad. I miss shows. I miss like what it felt like on by the monitors so bad. That was like my comfort zone, like putting a blanket next to the speaker and just sitting next to it. It made me feel like I'm on stage.
That makes me think of the ravers that fall asleep against the speakers. You know those guys? Oh my
It's their
God.
home, bro. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
That's real love.
Yeah, I can imagine if you have better speakers too, you maybe expand your taste in music a bit, because like, you know, a lot of trap beats is like, I don't know if you ever been like on the subway or something in New York, and you just hear like
echo.
little sprinkler sounds like all around
Like
you from
hi-hat,
people's
just-
headphones. Like, cause it's always just like all this high end and all this low end and like kind of maxed out because it sounds good on like any kind of speaker, even shitty speakers. You get some nice speakers. I think there's a whole world, a whole sonic landscape that becomes opened up to you. So get some nice speakers.
I definitely want to say this too. Being from like the trap realm, like, oh my God, I didn't even know about mixing and mastering until probably I dropped like my first single with the label, and they showed me what the difference would sound like, and it made me feel like I got fucking earwax taken out my ears listening to a song that had been mixed and mastered. So for all my people who haven't really experienced that or gotten into like the clarity of how clear music can get and how you can really hear everything, I'm telling you, it changes the experience of music. Like it changes your way of digesting it as well. Like you fall in love with different things. Like when I first started rapping, I was in love with hi-hats and crazy bass, and now I'm in love with like synths and
That's really cool you say that.
with like crazy other things that I would have probably never heard if I wouldn't have opened my ears and been willing to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool you say that. Usually when it comes to mixing, I 95% mix my own records, but you know, in case of your next track that we did together, you know, I just handed the stems to this incredible mixer who's done, you know, the fucking baddest trap and rap records. And, you know, there's a real school to it. It's crazy. There's some science to it too. You know, like my mixes are okay, but when you hear some of, like, I think for the track that, you know, for your next track, it really makes sense that someone that is so deep in that world and not only studied all of that, you know, I've seen like next level mixes. I've heard next level mixes. And so I even open up, you know, for many years, I was like, no, I'm not going to give anyone my music to mix. Hell no. But when it comes to like stuff like that, I'm like, you know what? I think they can do it. It's also not like gonna change my production. It's just gonna make sure that everything that I've done in the production is clear and stuff like that. And then mastering is a whole other level, 100%. You know, I mean, it's cool. You can master stuff with your, you know, in your software and your computer and stuff, and everybody can do this, or even AI mastering. You can upload to like Lander and stuff. It's cool that you have the option for everybody that makes music at home. But, you know, for me, it's really important to give that someone that also knows what they do, and to make sure, you know, the bass is perfect, the highs don't annoy, whatever. And usually because my music's overall more aggressive and a little more raw production wise, I go with this guy in England at the Exchange, Mike Marsh, and he has these like old EQs. They're like 30K EQs from the 70s, and he runs my stuff through that, and in the end it makes it so warm and nice, because, you know, I want the opposite. I don't want more aggressive. I don't want more loudness. I want to make it sound like smooth and stuff. And so that's another level of mastering, and I appreciate that you noticed that as well. I think that's really cool. This shows how good your ear is as well.
Thanks.
I mean, I want to ask, since both of you really, I mean, you really experiment. You're always trying out different sounds, and I mean, you're killing it every time you try something different. I mean, Rico, I was listening to Nightmare Vacation, and it's really crazy how many different like feelings and the range of your voice and how much you can do is you show on that record. And I wanted to know though, I mean, how does that translate to fans though? Like, what is the Rico Nasty fan like? What is a fan who is into everything actually like? I mean, I've always said like when people are like, what kind of music do you listen to? I'm like, everything. But I'm curious how you see or how you would describe the person who listens to your music. Maybe Rico, you want to start?
I would definitely describe them as fearless, bro. Sometimes, you know, like when you're an artist, your fans are one. Let me not say sometimes. One thing that I wanted as an artist was I never wanted to feel so far up my own ass. Like I never wanted to feel like my fans were beneath me. And that's another reason why I incorporate mosh pits in a lot of my shows, because it really just brings out the fearlessness. And when you see, it's inspiring, like how crazy they go for their favorite artists. And I feel like when I meet a lot of them, they're very much creative people, not necessarily in music, but like they're always like an artist of some sort. They make clothes. Something draws them like the left side of their brain for sure. Like they always dress really cool. And I just feel like overall, like when I look back on a lot of my shows and I think back on a lot of experiences in person that I've had with them, a really good word to describe them is optimistic. Like a lot of the times I meet them, they be going through weird shit in their life or sad stuff in their life. And they just always seem so hopeful. And I'll be going through the little shit that I'm going through. But when I hear their problems and how they're just like, oh yeah, but I'm still here. It doesn't really matter. Like they're so punk. They're the product of what I produce, literally. They're the product of the music. Like they're mysterious, and I don't know, when you know a Rico Nasty fan when you see one. They got that look on their face. I don't know. You're like, that girl, this is a Rico Nasty. Sometimes, look, this is a crazy story. I remember this one time I was out and I had on like a hoodie and some sweatpants. I was going through like slight depression. One of those weeks, I was like, okay, I feel like shit. I look like shit. I seen this girl in PetSmart. She had on an outfit that I had worn top to bottom, like top to bottom. And she turned around and she looked at me and I didn't have nothing on. Like I'm just a regular person. And I did not think she would recognize me. And she was like, she just pointed at her outfit and then she just looked at me and pointed
Freaky
at me.
Friday.
She was like, you know that this is that I'm like, this is like the new world of women. They're the way they communicate with one another, the way they're not too bitchy or stuck up to say, oh my God, it's you, or hey bitch, you look good as fuck. Like that's one thing I say too. They're very much non-judgmental, very open, happy people, embracing one another. Like, and that's really important to me in the music I make, because I don't want people to walk around thinking that they're cooler than everybody else. It's not what I make music for. I make music for people who get bullied or picked on and probably have a parent that they can't like tell them to fuck off, but they do it in their fucking room with their headphones. And they just, that's what I make music for. I don't make music for people who go around beating up people and being crazy. It's more so the people who actually have more control over their emotions than you think. For sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're kind of the outsiders, you know, kind of the misfits. One thing you said that I thought was really cool is, you know, you said something that they're like a product of your music, and that's really cool because, you know, that gives you the freedom, you know, like when I make something and I really feel it and I love it, there has to be a person out there that feels the same, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes you so real, you know, and that what makes your fans so close to you and your music, because they feel what you feel through the music, and it, that's the best thing in the world, basically. And yeah,
I love
That
when they
is,
get it.
it's very sweet and inspirational. Jack Ricker in the chat called it bloomer core for Rico's music. I feel that's a good description.
Should we go into
I guess
some questions in the chat? Should we like look at what?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has questions in the chat,
I haven't even looked.
Send them now. I've been keeping an eye on it, but I'll give them people a second to write questions. But do you all always have you recorded all of the songs you made together in the studio in person? Because I imagine a lot of people record shit remotely, and maybe how important is the in-person studio experience to y'all's process?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's essential. I haven't put out a song with anyone, putting a vocal on it that, I haven't been together in the room. It's, for me, it's kind of spiritual in a way, even though, I'm not the most spiritual person, but to me, as you said also earlier, Rico, is like, when you're in the room with someone, there's an energy. And when I'm in the room with someone, I want to give it all. I'm not holding back like my secrets in production and like, how do I do this? Or like, oh shit, I have this one idea, but I better keep it for this other, like I want to make the best music possible in that moment with the person I have. And I want to have the most fun at the same time. And you feel that if that comes back from the other person, usually it does, sometimes it doesn't. And, then it's what it is. But if it comes back, yeah, you can create some sick shit and there's some magic. And if you have that relation and you have that energy in the room together and the conversation, it barely happens, otherwise, if I would send a track to, let's say, a rapper or someone like this, and I don't think he's gonna put in his best stuff and send it back to me. And like it's just so, it's like, music to me is like this really precious zone, and it's this zone that keeps us away from the mad world. And it's and so when you're in that zone together, no matter what, there's gonna be some good stuff, whatever the music might be afterwards. Maybe you make shit music, that happens too. I'll make like, one good track out of 5, that's fine. It's more about making music, making music together. And I think to me, it's become over the years more and more important to feel the other person and to feel the energy together.
For sure.
I think we got a super fan question in here for y'all, because they are asking, what happened to We Want Some Money, Rico and Boys Noize, and One and One?
They know!
You see them ready? You see them ready? Y'all gonna get money. Y'all gonna get money, and you're gonna love it.
What's one and one?
Oh my god.
I know about that. Probably mentioned it. I know I played it. I played it at a couple of shows.
I played it at a strip club too in Miami, actually.
If you guys run up money and keep running up Girl Crush, then you guys will have one and one for sure. I think one and one is supposed to. We were talking about Valentine's Day. It's a really cute song.
It's nasty as fuck.
How many have you all recorded together?
What'd you say?
I said, how many have you all recorded together?
I don't know. There's a couple. It's a bunch.
A couple.
Couple bunch.
Oh, wow.
You know what's crazy though? Almost every one we recorded is gonna come out. So that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good ratio, right?
Yeah, I think that it's a great ratio. It's even crazier because it's just like it's timeless. Like we've
I think
made
so.
like we haven't gotten to work because of quarantine and everything, but like the fact that the music made before that fits the world that we're in now and it didn't fit the world back then is just like it makes me so optimistic. It makes me kind of want to go back and just listen to a couple songs and it's just like wow, the world has changed so much. They gonna eat it up. They're gonna love this.
I gotta say, being ahead of the curve is like really difficult position to be in sometimes. But it's probably kind of satisfying when you made something a couple years ago and then it's finally the right moment and then you can release it and you know you were way ahead of everyone else when you made it. So
I think
Yeah.
with the tracks, like maybe it was supposed to happen that way too. You know, you just never know. But yeah, it's coming, and Girl Crush is out now as well, and you know, it's cool. I think we're supposed to see each other soon again
Yeah.
to
Sometime this
make
week,
some
right?
more bangers.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm supposed to fly back next week back to LA. So
Let's go. Oh my gosh.
um,
Oh, I can't even tell you. I'm gonna text you the news.
okay,
uh-oh.
Yeah.
Y'all,
So I have to leave next week.
I gotta see the
well,
video too. You
Oh
gotta send me
yeah,
the
I'm
pics.
gonna send you pictures and everything. It was sick.
Okay.
well, hopefully I'll jump in the studio and make another couple bunch tracks for people. Be careful where you play them, or they're watching.
Yeah, they're watching. Fuck. I'm like, damn.
That's
All right. Well,
crazy.
they're when they get the song, they're gonna feel like it was worth the wait. Because another thing about Money was we loved it, but we always felt like it needed somebody on it. So
Yeah,
it's just
it wasn't
perfect
quite finished.
timing.
The main idea was there. Even for me, like I pushed it myself too on the production, which was great now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. Whatever y'all want to leave people with. I mean, I'm kind of curious, like if there's any songs or I mean, any films, any piece of media that's really given you life right now. Because I mean, there's still people a bit locked down without a whole lot to do, stuck inside. So whatever y'all want to plug in, maybe you can share something that's giving you life, getting through this time right now with everyone.
Roblox.
Uh, what did you say?
Roblox.
What is it? I wanna check it out.
Oh my God.
Uh
Download Roblox. I'm gonna send you the link. Add me on Roblox. If we get Boys Noize on Roblox, I know his character is gonna be so cute. It's gonna be so funny. Oh my gosh. It's a game that I play with my son. I feel like video games are what saved me. I play Roblox, Gang Beast. Um, what else do we play?
I'm down.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
you gotta get on the game. It's really fun. My son he's what really just has kept me going through the entire lockdown. Like if you have kids, I know that they get on your nerves, bro, but just try to get into their head because the stuff that they are learning about nowadays is so funny and they are really amazing. And I feel like that's why I've been able to keep this happy, jolly mood because my son really he's always in such a happy vibe. It's hard to
I
bring him down
feel you.
sometimes.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I have a daughter too, and she rocks my world. It's just
Yeah.
nonstop
It's
positive
nonstop.
energy. It's the best. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Kids are the best, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the message, maybe. We should all, you know, keep that kid inside and stay positive and do good, be good, and do cool shit.
Definitely. Please your inner child. Like, bro, if you want to eat breakfast for dinner, do that shit. Don't let nobody
Exactly.
tell you you can't have eggs and waffles for dinner, okay? This is your life. Like, especially if you don't have kids, bro, this is your life. Please yourself. Love yourself. Listen to some music really loud. Piss your neighbors off. Bring out your inner punk rocker.
I have nothing more to say. I think that's the best message of today. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'm also really excited to hear what Roblox Core sounds like. I think y'all are gonna release the first Roblox Core song or Roblox Wave.
Oh my God.
I think that's
If he
the
hears the
next
music on
genre.
Roblox, he's gonna be like, "What the hell is this?"
I will
I gotta
check it
get
out
you on
right
this
now.
one. Okay.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you everyone for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Nightmare Vacation, Rico Nasty's recent album is out now. Boys Noise Polarity is out now, and this has been the first edition of Law of Attraction, where we talk about polarity with the artists involved. And huge thank you to everybody, Rico, Alex. Everyone have a great weekend.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Little Internet. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.